Hello everyone. Um I am y'all already know what we're going to be talking about because um y'all see the picture on the screen, y'all saw the title of the video. Hey Lexi, hey Alexis, hey Shy. Please let YouTube act right tonight. Hopefully it does. It did last night, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it does tonight as well. So I asked you guys on my community tab, I told y'all I was going live tonight, and I asked y'all what did y'all want to talk about, and people said they wanted me to talk about Red Table Talk. And at that point, I had not been on social media, so I didn't even know what had happened. I didn't even know what happened. I knew Jada was supposed to bring herself to the table, but I didn't know they had already done it and that it had aired, and people had saw it. So I went and pulled it up myself because I wanted to see it in its entirety, not just a few clips. And first of all, I'm like, this is only 12 minutes. Like usually when they do an episode, it's like around, from 20 to 30 minutes. This one was 12. And people were absent. It was only Jada and Will. And, to a certain degree, I can understand that. But, I want to know how this affects the rest of the family as well. Y'all always have everybody else at Red Table Talk. Y'all always have Gammy and Willow. Where were they? But I will continue to go. I took plenty of notes. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through my notes, and then, we'll have a discussion afterwards. So the one thing that I noticed throughout this whole thing is that Will Smith was being very passive aggressively angry. Like he was making these passive aggressive jokes, his posture, the way he was talking to Jada, it was like, I'm trying not to show how angry I am, but I am livid. He looked like he was holding back like real anger. And I don't think it was necessarily because of necessarily what she did, but I think it was more so because it got out and the way that it got out, and maybe it might have been a little bit of I told you so in there. But he was very, very, you could like, if y'all saw it, y'all know what I'm saying. Like he was, Will tries to come off like a very go with the flow chill person, and like he's very jokey joke, but he really was angry and he was holding her to task. Like whenever she would try to use like flowery language and like a vocabulary that didn't make sense to the situation, he made her clarify quickly. He was very, to me he was, kind of straightforward with what he had to say in comparison to Jada. Although I feel like, at the end of the day, both of them are actors. And both of them, do I think this whole sit down was genuine? Do I think, they were just really, really putting it all out there? I do not think so. But if anything, I hope this showed everyone that we should not be holding celebrities to a high standard. This might as well been an episode of Iyanla mixed with Mari. You know what I'm saying? Like this was just as messy as any other reality TV show drama. Let's just be real. Because I'll get to why later on in this, but I just had to get that off my chest to begin with. So to start off, they addressed the fact that they hadn't spoken on this yet. So initially when it came out with the information that August put out about him and Jada, there were a lot of reports that Will and Jada have denied these allegations, that they're, people is denying it. But they said they purposely didn't say anything. They wanted to keep things private, but healing needs to happen. So they claim they never said that August was lying. I'll just go along with that, but part of me don't believe that, because I personally thought Jada was just gonna come on here and deny. But I know she knows that everybody else believes him, and she would lose all credibility if she did so, because like her whole persona these days is about being open to, being honest and healing. So if she were to lie about things, she would lose her credibility. Okay, so she said that her friendship with August started 4.5 years ago, and she wanted to help him. Not only just her, but her and the whole family wanted to help heal him, because he was very sick, and they wanted to be a resource to help this young man, right? And I'm just going to pause here, and I'm going to tell y'all what August's issues are, because or were, he might have worked through these, but this is some of the things that August were dealing with. This is some of the things that he put out himself. August grew up in poverty and violence, which can be, can do a lot to someone's mental period. But because of that, he lost his brother to gun violence, and he became a caretaker for his brother's 3 girls at a very early age. He also lost his sister to cancer, which I think was a little bit more recent. He had a very tumultuous public feud with his mother. And, it was, I remember when that happened back then, and it was it was heart-wrenching, because you never want to see someone fall out with their mother, but they just seem to have like a very toxic relationship with each other. And so therefore we can only assume that you have some mommy issues that come with that. Also, August has a very serious autoimmune disease. He was bedridden in the hospital for like a while, very sick. He just posted a picture the other day showing how sick he actually was, and as in comparison to how he looks today. And he was so sick and bedridden that he had to learn how to walk again. So this is no joke. This, like, he almost was on his deathbed. He was very, very, very ill. And then on top of all that, he had a drug addiction, which Will and Jada made clear today. So that is all of what August was going through, which was August needed some serious help. He didn't need, some people that want to heal him and wanted to fix him. He needed serious professional medical help. And the only thing that the Smiths could have possibly provided was the money to facilitate the help that he needed. You know what I'm saying? That by itself is all they should have been giving him. And, moral support and things like that. There is no way someone 20 years older than him, she met him when he was 21. There's no way someone 20 years older than him, with all these issues I've just listed, you are in the middle of a separation, because she said on the show, they both admitted that they were separated at one point. They were done with each other. They didn't, it was it. They were broken up. So you decide to enter into a relationship with this person that you're supposedly helping. And the reason why I'm framing it this way is because if this were the other way around, let's say if this was a man, let's say this is Will, and there's a young girl 20 years younger than him that experienced all the same things as August Alsina, lived a rough life, had a terrible relationship with her father, very ill, drug addiction, experienced loss of both of their siblings. I would view Will Smith, if he were to do this same exact thing to a young woman knowing that he was married, I would view him as taking advantage of this young girl. So because I feel that way about him, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and make it seem like it's a better situation just because Jada knows how to speak well and she knows how to use vocabulary to make people feel better about what she did. Do I think it was completely malicious? No, but do I think she knew better than what she was doing? Yes. But she said it herself, she wanted to make herself feel good. So because you want to make yourself feel good, you go ahead and take advantage of someone who is vulnerable. Now, do I think August Alsina is a grown man and you know what I'm saying he should take responsibility for some of that as well? Yes. I don't even think August Alsina is looking at this situation the way a lot of us are. He said if he were to die tomorrow, then his life would have been complete because of that relationship. That says a lot, y'all. She really had his mind. He is in his, I believe he's 27 and he feels like he's lived a full life already because of this toxic relationship with Jada Pinkett. So yeah, I kind of got a little ahead of myself, but that's how I feel about that whole situation. Um so then they get to the point where they discuss the fact that Will did not give her permission, and she says Will could not give her permission. Only she can give permission for that situation to happen. And she says August only perceived it as permission because they had a very amicable separation, and she made it clear that he was not a homewrecker. So they debunked that he wasn't a homewrecker. And they said that Will didn't give permission. I'm gonna go ahead and believe them on that. Because just by how Will is just like, it just seems like he was not down for this, just by how he was, positioning himself. But on the other side of things, I do feel like they should have delved a little bit deeper into what exactly was going on. Like, why were you so unhappy with him? Like, what did Will do? Like, Will did something too. And then because at the end he was like, yeah, he was joking around like, I'm gonna get my revenge. And she was like, you already got your revenge. You got yours. Like, she made it seem like he had been done something and this was her revenge. So yeah, I'm not completely on Will's side either. We just don't know his tip. She was kind of forced to put hers out there. I think what he was majority upset about is the fact that it had gotten out in the first place, and he possibly told her this would happen. So then they got into the relationship portion and how eventually they got in a relationship, and she was like dancing around it, and Will was like, look, what was it? He made her take responsibility. Like, let's say exactly what it was, because she was like, we got into an entanglement. What is an entanglement? That's a new one. I've never heard entanglement. And this is what I mean by she uses this like flowery vocabulary that is not honest. Like, call it what it was. Y'all, you saw this young man and you wanted to you said you wanted to feel good with this young man. Period. She said she was broken in pain, and she realized that she couldn't find she needed to find happiness with herself instead of trying to find it in someone else. So I'm just looking at that as, well, maybe she used to think she had happiness in Will, couldn't find it in Will, so she found it in August, or we're looking for it in August. So let me see. Let me skip down. I talked about a lot of this stuff already. So she had to learn that she looked for people to fix, and she had a codependency issue, and she had a childhood trauma that propelled her to want to fix other people because she wanted to subconsciously fix her childhood trauma. And she learned a lesson from this, and it's like I can see that, because anytime you try to even anytime you're in a relationship with Tupac, or whatever that was, she was trying to fix him. Who knows, when she got Will, she might have been trying to fix him in some sort of way. And now it's August, and so I can believe that she was trying to fix him, but like grateful for the lesson. It's just like, you kind of used someone else's issues to fix yourself, and I can never get into that. I just really, I can't get into that at all. Will said he feels like he's the loving wife at a press conference. It reminded me of that press conference with Kobe. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have brought that up. Strike that from the record. Oh, but just think about, the many times men have gotten in trouble and their wives had to stick by their side. Will said that's how he felt. And he said he loved her no matter what. And that was just a part of his like passive aggressive jokes. Like Will the whole time was making a lot of passive aggressive jokes, and you could tell that he was just really angry to even be addressing this. They also said that they broke all communication with August. No, August broke all communication with them and hasn't talked to them since. And this happened years ago. And they're looking at this situation as really strange. And why do you want to come out now? And she was just saying that back then she wasn't ready for it to be discussed because she hadn't worked through it yet. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't think you ever planned on putting this out there at all. I doubt she ever was going to put this out there, even though her whole platform is built on spilling other people's business and getting people to spill their own business. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she just had no, I don't believe she had no intention of ever putting this out there. Because her and Will have this, they had this persona of having this awesome marriage, and people look to them as couple goals. And you know what I'm saying? I feel like that image has been completely shattered. As well it should have, because if you're going to be building up this persona, people need to know what they're admiring. So they're just both happy that they get to make mistakes without the fear of losing their family. He wasn't sure if and he wasn't sure if he was ever going to speak to her again. And I wonder, like, when did you feel this way? Did you feel this while y'all were separated, or did you feel this when you found out she was with August, or did you feel this when all this came out? Why did you feel like you would never speak to her again? I would like to know when he felt that way, because that's a very serious thing to say. They said it's a miracle that they are still together. And personally, it don't seem like they're romantically still together. It just seems like they're partners, roommates. I said this last week. I feel like they're just together in name only. They just seem to be best friends, homies that share a household and children and a family bond. Because I just don't get any kind of romance from them. Especially after this happened. It just don't seem like they'll be able to. They claim you have to go through stuff to get the answers. And Will said he don't want to go through this no more, which means I guess they're gonna get people to sign non-disclosure statements. And he started joking around, talking about how he gonna get you back, and she was basically like, you already did. And they were joking around. Both of them was being very passive aggressive at that moment and telling these jokes, and it's like, y'all don't seem like y'all are necessarily on the same page. They try to act like they're so much on the same page. In some aspects it seemed like y'all ain't. They never outwardly said like they were back together. They said they were, together 25 years, and they even made this silly joke of ride together, die together, bad marriage for life. He told her he could love her through anything, and she didn't believe it, but he did. And it ended so beautifully. My ending reactions from this whole thing, they are both actors. Will gets paid millions of dollars to act. Jada has been in multiple movies and TV shows that I love. I wasn't believing it all the way. I just wasn't. I think they had their talking points that they know that they were going to address. I think they're necessarily on good terms? No. They were trying to act like they were, but Will was very upset, and you could see it in his eyes, and you could see it in his tone, how upset he was. And I'm going to continue to say that because I was a little bit nervous. Like, Will would look like he was about to bust a blood vessel. It was just, calm down. Celeb relationships are not relationship goals. We should not be looking to celebrities for guidance on relationships because we don't know the real. They show us what they want to show us, and they are going to show us the best parts, or they're going to show us the fairy tale version. They're going to show us what they want us to see. And that's what all of this gave me. And I feel like they've been doing this for years. So them getting on camera and talking this way, I feel like this was nothing, because both of them are used to it. I feel like they're both used to putting on this front. My questions were, how does the family feel? Especially Jaden, because he introduced August to Jada. And I just wonder, like, how do you feel that not only that your parents were separated, but your mom started dating someone around your age, someone you introduced her to? Like, how did that change the dynamics in the family? That's why I wanted other people there. Because obviously it could not have possibly just affected y'all. And also, since Will said he never gave the blessing, how did you feel about this quote unquote entanglement? How did you really feel? Because he said he was on the verge of never talking to her ever again. So I would have loved for them to have delved deeper, because this was very shallow and very much surface level, and y'all love to deep dive in other people's business. And so yeah, I would love to have gotten a more in-depth look at what was going on. And yeah, pretty much Jada made a platform off of sharing or getting others to share their deepest, darkest secrets. And I said on one of my lives, she likes to squeeze, get all they business out there. Oh, let us know more. Oh, let us know more. But you sit up here and you give us this surface level conversation between you and Will. Will was trying to get to the real. He was trying to get to the real, mind you, in a very passive aggressive way, but he was trying to get Jada to be more accountable for herself. But she wanted to tell it the way she wanted to tell it. I just don't appreciate it when you try to exploit everyone else's business, but you don't want to be real about yours. I feel like this, if she was as real, if she was as open and honest, if the show was as open and honest as they claimed it to be, we would have been known about this. They would have been told us about this. They would have been talked about it. They've talked about their relationship before in depth. They've said before they are not swingers. And they said before they didn't have an open relationship. So I feel like that would have been a perfect time to actually explain it. Y'all put your own selves out there. So now it's out there. It's your turn. It's your turn to come to the table, Jada. Last week somebody said she should have brought Iyanla. She needed to bring Iyanla out there. I wish she would have, because Iyanla would have got the real. Iyanla would have been like, not on my watch. And she would have got the real out of Jada. Jada wouldn't have been able to dance around nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, you guys, that's all of my thoughts. That's how I felt. So I'm going to jump in the comments and see what you all are saying. Did y'all notice Will saying he wasn't adequate? No, I didn't see that. I don't like each other and put their marriage aside for the sake of the kids. They were definitely in an open relationship but wanted to keep up appearances. Siri, this is so sad. Play Shallow. Where's Willow now? She's always acting like she knows everything and understands. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all act like y'all are such an open family and y'all are willing to discuss anything, and you know what I'm saying, nothing's off limits. That's the way they project themselves. We didn't put that on you. That's the way you project yourself. So now this needs to be a private conversation, even though this is for the world to see. This left us all entangled. It created more questions. This whole thing makes me wonder if they were ever really in an open relationship. I kind of feel like they were separated and seeing other people. I think both to a certain degree. No one is perfect, but both Jada and Will have certain mannerisms that rub me the wrong way. This will ruin Willow's views on marriage, seeing her parents sleeping with other people growing up, and her never getting over Tupac. That's a good point. Teen Bad Marriage. Will had that Ike look when he was mad at Tina for making music with another artist. I know Will was angry, y'all. Like, he was trying to act calm, cool, and collected, but that man was upset. I was like, don't hurt her, Will. Leave her if that's the case, but don't hurt her. They're just in a partnership because Will said a long time ago he doesn't want to go through divorce again. He did say divorce was his biggest mistake that he ever felt like he went through with his ex-wife. He felt like that was his biggest mistake. So I think you're right. He will never get a divorce. He seems very egotistical, self-consumed. I agree. I feel like he was more so embarrassed than anything. I don't even think he had a problem with the whole August thing until it got out, to be real. They rehearsed it very well. I agree. Very passive aggressive combo. Do y'all think who do y'all think is the toxic one? I think they both can be, because I don't know. I feel like I heard Jada say one time that she cried for, like, I believe she said like 30 or 40 days straight. She was crying every single day. And I'm like, and Will said he didn't know that was going on. He didn't know what was going on with her at that point. And I'm just like, how do you not know what's going on with your wife and she's crying every single day? How did you not know that? So that makes me, I'm agreeing with someone else who said he's egotistical, and he probably is more so concerned about himself and his own needs, and possibly that pushed Jada to, maybe she started acting the way he did. Or, maybe it was vice versa. I don't know. But she did say one day she was crying for 40 days and 40 nights. And I was like, dang. Hi, Tyronda. Definitely did a good job acting. Why would someone make a rumor about open relationship if it wasn't partially true? Red Table, the real is just fake. That family dynamic has always been strange, but they try to come off to be eccentric, funny, and perfect. The kids have been through so much trauma. I think this is just one more situation. I could see that. I could see, because I don't care what nobody says. This is not. This don't seem like it's healthy. Just based off of how both of them came off in this situation. Jada was extremely hurt. She seemed like she was extremely neglected and that Will had dropped her. Will seemed like he was very angry, and instead of actually talking it through, he was being passive aggressive about it. So that creates a toxic dynamic, and I can't imagine that nobody else in the family is not affected by it. So it looks like the roles are reversed for real. Look at Jada's body language. I totally agree with you. This should have been put out there because Will and Jada are viewed as the go-to couple for relationship goals. Yep, their body language was off. I don't think they had spoken open relationship, but when one or the other is doing something, the other one does the same. So they turn a blind eye to the situation. I could see that. Let me see. Go back up. Jada is gonna play along because Will is the moneymaker and it's good for his brand. This is why I feel like they went along with the charade for so long. I feel like they are more respected when they're together, or this is what they're thinking. Like we are more respected when we're together. Jada gets more out of this relationship than she would outside of it. Will Smith is a household name. He is a multimillionaire. He is worldwide known, not just a household name. He's known worldwide. He's been in like so many classic movies. He's been in so many like blockbuster films. He was in one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite shows of all time, Fresh Prince. I love that show. So he's beloved by a lot of people, and he's known as a family man. He's known as a, before this, great husband, great father. And so Jada is now a part of his brand, and so is Will. They're so intertwined within each other. If they were to break up, they might have some serious adverse reactions. People are likely to divest support, period. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. People, because so many people love them because they were known as the couple to be or the couple to model your relationship after. That's what they were known as. And so I feel like instead of breaking up, because that might have been potentially harmful, they just went on to do their own thing. Because I make no mistake, I do believe Will is doing his own thing as well. But yeah, I feel like their brand was so intertwined that they were, they were afraid they would ruin everything if they were to break up. Not to mention splitting that money. Will probably don't want to let that money go. They were acting, but they forgot to appear happy. I think Will was trying to appear happy, and it just wasn't. It wasn't curling over like at all, because his eyes was telling it all, and the passive aggressive jokes. You didn't like Jada sitting crisscross applesauce. Hey Mia. They stay giving advice on how to be happy, but the facade has completely dropped for me after this red table. Me too. Actually, for a while, I've been feeling this way. That's why I feel like red table talk is the main thing that made me see straight through their relationship before this. I wonder if Jada ever got professional help. It's clear she has trauma and likely stems from her childhood. Her mom was on drugs, no father, had to affect her. I agree. And possibly maybe she saw herself in some of these people she tried to fix. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like she was 100% malicious. Like I said before, I don't think she was 100% malicious, but I do feel like at some point is taking advantage because she is in a position of power. She is offering this man stability. She's offering him, through money and through family. And yeah, she had his mind. I don't think she ever thought he would ever tell on her. Ever. I don't think she ever thought this would happen. I believe them when they were genuinely shocked that this came out. I wonder if you already said that. She was trying to look comfortable. Exactly. They were on edge, both of them. And they were trying so hard to look comfortable. Look at them. Look at them in this picture. That is not comfortable. That is very wound up. It annoyed me watching them kikiing like they were over it. Oh, that was 4 years ago. But look at Will. Exactly. August said that him and Jada were basically living together. Right. Jada did say they were going to stay together, whether she was living over here with somebody and he was living over there on the other side of the house with somebody. They were going to stay together. So I guess she was telling the truth on that one. Yeah, the laughing was definitely not authentic. I think they're keeping this to uphold their image. Did you hear about August, Alsina, and Kinky? Yeah, I saw that. I think he was completely out of line with that. He just jumped on her for no reason. She didn't say nothing. To me, she didn't say anything that was worth putting all her business out there like that. I did not like that at all. But you know what they say, hurt people hurt people. I'm not excusing it at all, but because I think what he did was nasty. Y'all know how long Jada and August lasted? I really don't know. They said it was 4.5 years ago and that they haven't talked in a while, but I don't know, something about that, those dates and years don't sound right to me, but I don't feel like going through the trouble of figuring it out. The age gap between August and Jada also caught me off guard, but both of are adults. The only thing I have to say about that is when you're 21, being a 21-year-old is obviously very different from being a 40-year-old. Now that I think about it, if he met her at 21 and he's 27 and they met 4.5 years ago, that definitely don't add up. So that just popped in my head, but they said he met her at 21. When you're 21, you think you know everything. You think you know you're an adult. You think you've been there. You think you've done that, right? You don't know nothing. At 21, you don't know nothing. When I think of myself at 21, clueless, dumb, stupid, making the worst decisions possible. You know what I'm saying? Because I just didn't have the experience. I don't have the wisdom. I think I know everything, so I'm not listening to the people that do. So, and then on top of that, August had all this baggage, like heavy baggage on top of that weighed him down. You know what I'm saying? That, the issues with his mom, dealing with the death of his brother, that comes with heavy grief. On top of that, becoming caretakers for his children, becoming a father, essentially, losing your sister to cancer, becoming ill and bedridden, and you have to learn how to walk all over again, being addicted to drugs. Jada knew all of this. So yeah, he's grown. He's 21, but he also, you know what I'm saying, when you go through certain things, it mentally it's like mentally you can't move past that, so you're kind of stuck at that mindset of when traumatic things happen to you. So like when they say sometimes when people go to jail, let's say someone goes to jail at 18 and they get out when they're like 30, they're still at that 18-year-old mindset. Same thing for fame. Like if you become famous as a child, a lot of times you keep that same childish mindset. I feel like when it comes to trauma, some people remain at that age and are childish and, August went into this. I think August went into it really thinking that he was going to be able to be with Jada for real. He really thought he was going to be able to. I truly believe that, because when he realized that he couldn't, that's when he left, because he said he just can't do it anymore. He thought he was going to be able to get her. Arrested Development. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's Arrested Development when you get stuck at a certain point in your mind. Also, your mind doesn't get fully formed, I believe, until 25. Your mind is not, your frontal cortex of your brain is not fully formed until you are 25, I believe. So that's why when you see people that are like younger than that, when they make these idiotic decisions, like spur of the moment, spontaneous, crazy decisions, it's because their prefrontal cortex is not formed. And so, and also, Jada knows better. She's 40. We're not going to act like Jada don't know better. We're not going to give her that pass of, oh, she didn't know. You knew. You should not, you didn't have no business getting with this young man. You could have found anyone else to make you feel good, but you chose this young man. You said it yourself. You wanted to fix him. You wanted to heal him. But you want to fix and heal him, but then have relations with him. That is not how that works, Jada, and you know it. So yes, that's how I feel about that. Lexi said, I'm 25 and just started to feel grown for real. Right. I same. When I turned 25, I just then started to feel like I was starting to think more clearly. And still to this day, I kind of feel like I don't know everything. But I think when you get older, you realize you don't know everything. When you're younger, you think you know everything and you don't. And I think that's a sign of maturity, is when you realize you don't know everything. It's almost like he was a child telling the truth on his scheming teacher. I'm sorry, but not mature enough for a woman like Jada. She had his mind. I totally agree. For men, it's slower. Men do age slower. They say women have a 7-year maturity, like women that are men are 7 years behind women. That's what they say. I don't know how true that is, but Gam spoke out about it because Will Smith posted about it. Look it up. I do remember her saying something. I can't remember exactly what she said, but I think it was like basically, you know, they're not perfect. So, stop looking at people as perfect. Their critical thinking is not fully developed. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna use that excuse. My prefrontal cortex ain't ready. It's true. Thanks, Ralph Lauren. Will's sister coming with a book. I'm trying to make that that hurt emoji face. Knowing that he didn't have an older figure in his life and being younger makes me sympathize with him more, but it makes me really side-eye Jada. This situation was disappointing. That's nasty. She'd be mad if somebody that old's messing with her son. If the tables were turned, y'all. If the tables were turned, Jada knows she would be upset if Jaden brought a 40-year-old woman home. I know she would not be okay with that. I know she wouldn't. So her character in Girls Trip with the younger guy was real. I can't. While 2020 is just becoming very long. It's like he had mommy issues and then gravitated to Jada because of that. Then went somewhere it shouldn't have. Yeah, because Y'all, I don't know what happened. I don't know how I just did that. Am I back? I accidentally just completely took myself out of here. Okay, I'm back. I don't know, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't even know what just happened. At least I was able to come back though. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, y'all know when young girls have daddy issues and they go after they start dating these older men, and it's because they're trying to have that father figure in the minute they date. Um, Somebody comes to mind. I don't know if y'all watch Housewives of Potomac, but Ashley, she's dating this much older man, and for those who don't know, she's of mixed race. Her father was white, but he never claimed her. He never really wanted to be in her life. He was a deadbeat. And so she went out and found an older white gentleman, like really old, like her dad's age, and married him. And I feel like that is a direct result of daddy issues. And she even addressed it and, said that possibly could have been a part of the reason. Yeah, I feel like a similar thing happened here with August. Will might be more mad that this came out because his dirt might be the next to drop. Ooh, y'all, I kind of don't want that to happen. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. They ain't the only couple out here with an open relationship. I feel like it's a popular thing. It could be, but I think they wanted to keep it private. I just don't think they ever wanted that to actually be public because they always denied it. They always denied it. Will use his genie powers to cut the stream. Oh my goodness. Oh my I feel like if the genders were tongue tied. I feel like if the genders were swapped, the younger woman would be much more ashamed compared to her male counterparts. I agree. I feel like a lot of people would definitely be like, "You are a homewrecker. You are a mistress," and going off on August if he were a woman. I totally agree. August being 21, this is like him being a Bobby Brown meeting Whitney Houston effect because she was established in where he wanted to be. I don't know if I would put that in the same. I don't know if I would. How old was Bobby when he met Whitney? Because I don't know if I would put that in the same category. I would have to know how old they were. I'm not trying to get off topic again, but did you hear about Wayfair? I I didn't. But email me. My email is in my description, so you'll the email me, let me know what it is. Now I think Will pays. Now I think Will pays and have his woman sign those papers. That's what I'm saying. I think Will is much more careful. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. So I didn't plan on being on here too long. I'm like super hot. And I'm kind of a little sleepy. But I know this is the main thing y'all wanted to talk about tonight. So I want to give y'all this. For those who came in late, I will be putting up the replay later on. So stay tuned for that. Shout out to everyone who was live in the chat and came in here and talked with your girl. This was 36 people in here. Go ahead and leave a like before y'all leave. Shout out to everyone who came. This is actually like a nice crowd. I'm sure partly it's because of the topic, but shout out to everyone who's here. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out LaVidaRosaStyle.com, which is my website where you can find cute accessories. I actually don't even have none on right now. This is terrible advertisement, but check out the website. I have cute earrings and accessories. I will be reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville, so look forward to that review. I will be reviewing Married at First Sight, and I will be going live. Maybe not the next day, but Friday. And shout out to Fairly Literary for this being your first live. Thank you for joining us. Oh yeah, I actually have another Vogue Me haul coming up, so look for that video too. Thanks, Shy, for bringing that up. I have another Vogue Me haul coming up, and I'm going to be showing y'all different frames. I have some really cute frames to show y'all. And let me see, I believe that's it. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you. I guess I'll be dropping my Love and Marriage Huntsville review next, so that will be up Sunday. And I'm gonna try to get a rant out this week as well. I was supposed to record a rant, so y'all see what it is. Y'all can vote for what y'all want me to do a rant on next. Look at my community tab and scroll down. Y'all can vote on that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for joining once again. I love you all, and I'll see you in my next one.